Horses for Veterans Horse Farm, and a proper introduction there by the horses. But anyway, Steve Pope with Firefighter Golf. I have Dr.
Jenny Prohaska here, and I'm a clinical psychologist that works primarily with first responders.
So. What two horses do we have here?
Oh yeah, okay, so this is Wildwin, Old Man Wildwin. He's awesome, and this is Volt. This is personally my favorite just because I like his hair. He's super pretty. So
I do like his hair.
He's awesome. So he's great. And they're both great actually. So yeah.
So if you're tuning in the channel, I think hopefully some of you know my mission is to grow awareness to PTSD in the fire service, but not only the fire service, military, police. We're out here today. My crew from Fire Station 17 in KCK cooked for KCK PD officers. We're out here doing a horsemanship program. So it's a good experience for us to be able to share the cooking part. You got to witness it, so.
Yeah, it was pretty neat. So, I mean, I think it's cool because, you know, KCK PD, KCK Fire, like, you know, yes, they run calls together. Yes, they go do stuff together, but there's often not a lot of downtime together. So it was kind of neat that it was cool that you guys did that.
Yeah, a neat experience. So I'm happy we're out here. Hopefully my crew we can find a time. We're going to come out here and do the horsemanship program as well. So I have Dr. Jenny on because I want her to talk about PTSD in the fire service and how it relates with working with the horses, as well as just the things that we talked about already that I've gone through with my life. So allostatic load, I've heard you talk about in the past. When you go to the warhorses for veterans.com or .org, I think it is.
It's on our YouTube channel. I've got like a teeny tiny little video. It's like a two-minute video of allostatic load. So the principle is just basically, it's kind of a psychological principle based on, look, over time, stuff just kind of builds up and your stress level will accumulate. And every single element, every single organism on this planet, every single human has a load that they can kind of handle or withstand. And when we're talking about first responders, that load is like, you guys are already pretty, you know, tough, but this career makes it so that you're always accumulating more, 20 plus years even, sometimes more. And you know better than even I do that can be, you can hit a limit, you can hit a point. So it's just good to know that, like, that's normal that you're hitting a load, that you're hitting that top, but then where does that stress come from, which you're going to talk about, and then what we do about it.
So like she mentioned, 23 years in the fire service now, and I never understood the way I was acting around family. An outlet that I have is golf, and there was times here the last 2 years I would stress out just even thinking driving to the golf course. When I'm there, I'm fine. But there was times on the golf course that my anger would flare up because I wasn't playing good, or just issues that I did not understand is what it comes down to. So my journey with this channel is to bring awareness to other firefighters, police, military that might not be understanding what they're going through. So in 2017, a friend of mine that I play golf with, I didn't share this story with you, he's in our peer support group, and he mentioned, Steve, you don't realize the load, he didn't refer to it as that at that time, but the things that we've seen over at that time, 20 some years, how it's affected me. So that started me on my journey. And then I finally, in January this year, decided to start this channel. I was lucky enough to have friends that put me in contact with you guys, Jason and Shannon and Patrick, the rest of Warhorses for Veterans. And it's been a blessing to understand now what I'm going through.
Yeah.
So I'm here now. I'm going to continue to spread this mission.
And save people. So that's what we're doing. Like, you know, I'll say save people like it's very dramatic, but what I mean is, like, you do not want to retire from your career as a first responder or from the military and put in like this amazing amount of time, 20 plus years sometimes, and then not get to enjoy it by the time that you actually hit retirement. Like, this career, if you're not careful, can kind of take that joy away from you. So when we talk about like a bank account, for example, follow me here on this, real long, but you know, you can make deposits and you can make withdrawals. And this job is a lot of withdrawals from you. So if you have like an energy bank account, this job takes so many withdrawals. And what the really crappy part is all the deposits, like stuff like playing golf, for example.
Right.
That it used to like be like, oh, that's a $100 deposit. But once this career sucks the joy out of stuff and kind of gets you that way, that $100 deposit is now just a $10 deposit, even though you thought it should be $100. So really, we got to think about, like, think about your life like a bank account, and in the fire service, you're making a lot of withdrawals because it's emotional. This is so emotional. You got to make a ton more deposits, and you got to work really hard to make sure that those deposits are of high value too. So, yeah. So for you, it's golf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I came prepared because I knew I'd probably. So thanks for stepping in there, but
I got it.
she's right on with what she said, because I know what my lashing out anger issues have done with my family life.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm emotional, because I want to fix that.
Absolutely. I hear people all the time tell me the number one thing that's important to me is my family. So Doc, why in the hell is that where I'm taking my anger out at? And for a lot of people, what it is like in this job, you see and do stuff that you have no control over, and so you go home and you try to over control your home environment.
Right.
And then it looks like you're being a jerk when really you're just trying to find semblance of like control, or like I'm not helpless, hopeless, or powerless in this moment. I do have control, you know? So
Well, that's you hit the nail on the head there. That's exactly what I was feeling. So
yeah.
Another thing I'd like to talk about in the fire service, like we talked about earlier, was the sleep deprivation and how that plays a part in the fire service and how it affects us. So it's another load.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, it is really hard to describe what happens when you're sleeping at the fire station, but the sleep quality is horrible.
Yes.
And I didn't really know it until I actually got the privilege of doing an overnight ride-along with your agency, actually. And I was like, oh, you don't really sleep. And so you might have like even a slow night, but your ear is always listening for something, always listening for the next call you have to go on. And so that sleep in itself is kind of like a deposit in that bank account. And so when you're not getting good quality sleep, it's basically like you're not making any deposits at all. So the withdrawals the next day, like you're still making withdrawals. You still got to do this at home, still got to do this at work, still got to do this for your family.
Right.
But you don't have any deposit. There's no emotional cash in the bank account to you withdraw from because you're not sleeping well.
Okay. So earlier I have a video clip of you talking to my crew about the e-colors.
Yeah.
And how that relates with the horses and this whole program with military, fire, and police coming in.
Yeah.
If you want to speak on that just a little bit, that'd be great.
Yeah, so one of the tools we use out here is just a really quick, I don't even really want to call it a personality assessment, but it kind of is a personality assessment, where it's a really quick online survey, and it kind of helps you understand, like, I am one color, e-color is what it's called. You know, you might be a different color, but my color and your color.
So you were red.
I'm red.
I was red, yellow,
Uh-huh.
and red is
A doer.
a doer.
Yeah.
And I was yellow, red, so I was more of
A socializer.
the socializer,
Uh-huh.
which the irony of us talking about this and my personality before the loads started piling up on me, I was a person that, I was voted high school class clown. I wanted to have fun, and then that slowly waned away over time, and I didn't understand why. So, but taking this personality test, I am that socializer, want to have fun and make people laugh because that makes me feel good, to make someone else laugh and feel good. And then I'm also the doer.
Yeah.
So there's the personality test that relates to me, and then you said you're a red mainly? Or?
I'm pretty heavy on the red
Okay.
side, a little bit of blue in there, which means it's a relator, but I'm a therapist, so of course I'd be a relator.
Right.
So, like red and red, we're kind of on the same, I gotcha. But like green is a color that's associated with needing lots of data and being a thinker. I'm a doer, I'm a go-go. If I'm communicating with a green that's a thinker, I've got to go, I need to slow down, give him more information, and then we can move forward a little bit more collaboratively.
Right.
And if like, so you're a green and you're a thinker, I'm red, you might frustrate me with giving me too many details and those, so we got to work through that, which is good for like teams, like on the fire station, you guys all have to work together in a team, and most of the time it works fine, but if you've got that like little chink in the system that doesn't work well, like tension for whatever reason, you can use those types of assessments to kind of work through it.
Well, so what's Volt here?
I think Volt's a red, okay? Now, Volt obviously cannot do the personality test, but he's a red. So he's the type that he's just like lots of energy, like lots of energy, wants to be do. And so he's got to go out, and before we get on him, he's got to expend a whole bunch of energy so that he can focus. So that's kind of sort of how it applies out here, but.
And the old man doesn't get ridden anymore?
No, he gets ridden a lot,
He
actually.
does?
Yeah, he gets ridden a ton. He's great.
Got one blue eye?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, he's awesome. I don't even know what he is. He's probably a relator. He seems real empathetic. So it comes with age. But yeah, so here at Warhorses, what we kind of do with that is we really try to, like, first of all, we create an environment where people feel a little bit more comfortable to let their guard down because it's a pretty isolated environment. So it's kind of like a sanctuary-based environment. You know?
Right.
Then what we do out here is a lot of like camaraderie and bonding, team bonding. So that's awesome because we actually know that when it comes to first responders, the stronger your social relationships, the stronger the bonds, the more likely you are to stay healthy, especially when you continue to do this job for so long.
Right.
And then there's this novelty of all of this, and like having to learn brand new things has been associated with better outcomes, kind of with mood and personality as well. So
I agree. I know my crew being out here today, that's going to go a long ways to help us grow.
and you're just cooking.
And we were just cooking. So through this whole learning process of going through, I guess, self-awareness is the best way to put it for me. And is you have to be vulnerable and come to an understanding. You might be able to put it in better words after I say this, but I've become vulnerable now to finally open up and realize that because of self-awareness that these are the issues. They're real. Don't deny them because you're just going to continue to have problems, in my opinion, in your life, whether it's with family, friends, things you enjoy. I'm just reaching out to whoever I can, as many of you as I can, to have better relationships with your family, have fun on the golf course, you know, and I'm trying to bring awareness to that as well as places like this to have you reach out and come out here, because I'm telling you, this is a special place. You got special people here. Jason, watch their videos on their website. You'll see how special of a place this is, but really, you really won't know until you come see it.
Yeah.
So
it's really hard to explain to people. People ask me to like put like, hey, what's your elevator pitch on this place? And I'm like, I don't know. You just got to experience it. But we hopefully did an okay job kind of explaining it today. But
yeah, I think we did. If people can't see the raw emotion and your passion with the way you speak about it just excites me. You know, it's the way Jason speaks about it. First time I met his wife today, Shannon, how she's so involved, and then all the other people I met here, some of the investors in this wonderful place. I can't wait to continue my journey for myself as well as with Warhorses for Veterans. So please check out warhorsesforveterans.com. I believe the other one said .org as well.
yes.
But this sign says
Google it.
.com. But just Google it, you'll find it. I'll put it in my YouTube video. So please subscribe to my channel. It's free, and find out more as this journey continues. I plan on traveling the country, playing golf with firefighters, military, police, whoever contacts me. If I have the time to travel and play golf with you and video it and share your story, even if it's not PTSD related, let's just share stories and help each other grow as humans to have better lives with our family, like I mentioned before, friends, things you enjoy.
Be a better leader at work too.
Be a better leader at work, because again, I'll backtrack a little. This will help me be a better leader, especially with the personality test. I understand how some of my guys are thinkers, doers, or it just is going to help me understand them with knowing more about my personality and the issues that I've seen and had. Because something I told some of the newer people on my crew is, you've only been on 4 or 5 years. I don't want you to go through and have the same problems that I've had once you're 20 years on. Because I think firemen just continue to deny. I'm fine. I can fix it because I know that's what I did. And it didn't help my family life. So that's my goal. So hope you enjoyed. I thank you for the interview.
Sure. Yeah.
And a lot of information here. So I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right.
Cool.
Thanks for tuning in.